Today's video is a fun video. We're going to talk about how much I need to invest monthly for retirement. I'm going to show you a calculator and break down these numbers with you so that you know exactly how much money you need to be investing right now every single month in order to retire. I am Tiffany Thomas, your wealth mentor. I achieved financial freedom in my 30s and became a millionaire at 40. I'm here to help you do that even earlier and easier. Let's dive right in. All right, let's craft our retirement plan and figure out this monthly investing amount for retirement. Because if we want a retirement where we are in control of our finances and we feel very secure with our finances, we are going to be a lot happier in our retirement years. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is the importance of retirement planning. If we don't know how much money we are going to need in order to retire, then we won't know how much money to invest in order to retire. And I'm sure that we want to retire so that we can become financially free, so that we can live the lifestyle we desire without having to rely on money or rely on someone else for money. I know I found this to be true in my own life. I wanted to become financially free at a young age when I saw others doing this. I didn't actually realize this was possible, that people were retiring before age 65. I thought I would have to wait and retire in my 60s, but I realized that is not the case. So I figured out exactly how much money I would need to retire, and I worked on achieving that goal. So the first thing that we want to do is to figure out what our financial freedom number is. What is that amount we want to have invested in order to become financially free, in order to retire? The way we are going to figure this out is by using the 4% rule. And if you want more details about this rule, I have another video where I break it down into more detail. I will leave a link above. You can check it out later on. But here's what we're going to do. We are going to take our annual expenses in our retirement years, multiply that number by 25, and that is going to be the amount we want to have invested in order to retire. And the great thing about this formula, and I actually didn't realize this when I was figuring it out very first, but if we have passive income or semi-passive income right now, we are able to deduct that passive income from our expenses amount. For example, let's say that our annual expenses are going to be $50,000 in our retirement years, but we already have $10,000 every single year coming in from a real estate investment property. So we can subtract that amount, that $10,000, from that $50,000, our annual expenses. And then we are going to multiply that number by the number 25. So we would take 50,000 minus the 10,000 of passive income, we would get 40,000, and then we would multiply 40,000 by 25, which would give us $1 million. We would need $1 million invested in order to retire. And if you are thinking, I'm not really sure what my expenses are going to be during my retirement years, I do have another video about this going into more detail. I'll leave a link above. You can check it out later on. But essentially, just think of what your current annual expenses are right now. And are you pretty close to retirement, or are you quite a ways away? But from studies that have been done, we are usually living off about 70 to 80% of our current expenses if we are in our 30s or our 40s. So maybe that gives you a better estimate. But nonetheless, come up with something that is going to work for you right now, and of course you can adjust over time. For me personally, since I was planning to retire early, my expenses were the same as when I was going to retire. And going back to our example of having $1 million invested, we want to make sure that money is invested, that it's not just sitting in a savings account. That is not going to work for us, because we still want to take advantage of compound interest. And if our money is just sitting in a savings account, it's going to have a really low interest rate that we are earning, and it is not going to be enough compound interest in order for us to live off of that amount for the rest of our lives. And I personally like investing in the stock market and in real estate. And if you are interested in investing in the stock market, I have a free masterclass where I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market. I will leave a link below in the description. You can click on that and check out the free masterclass so that you can actually invest your money. All right, and now we are going to take a look at a calculator and see the monthly amount we are going to need to invest in order to retire. This is from networthify.com. This is the first calculator that I want to show you. Let's say that we are at a $75,000 annual income. And then our annual savings we're going to say is 20. And this is actually the amount we are investing, not just putting in a savings account. And then we're going to say we have $200,000 already invested. And then if we click on show more options, we can change this annual return on investment. We're going to say we're getting a 10% return. That is pretty average for the US stock market. And then we're going to use a 4% withdrawal rate. And we can see if we take a look down here, we will be able to retire in 16.3 years. And that would mean our monthly, they call it a monthly savings, but our monthly investment would need to be $1,250. We would need to be investing $1,250 every single month in order to retire in just over 16 years. And you can scroll all the way to the bottom of this and it will tell you your financial freedom number that you would need to have in order to retire. So it would be $1,649,476. So let's change some of these numbers. Let's say that our annual income is actually $120,000. And then we're saving 30% instead of 20. And we have $250,000 already invested. Now we'll be able to retire in 14.6 years, and that monthly savings amount would be $3,000. And let's do another example. Let's say that our current annual income is $120,000. So that means our annual expenses would be $84,000. But let's say that's a little too high for us. So let's say that we are going to actually save 50% of our income. So our annual expenses would only be $60,000. And then our current portfolio value would be $250,000. So if we scroll down, we can see that we can retire in just 9.5 years. And our monthly savings or investing amount would need to be $5,000. And then you can scroll all the way down, and our financial freedom number would be just over $1.6 million. So you can definitely pull up this calculator and see what your numbers would be. And that way you can figure out exactly how much you're going to need to invest every single month in order to retire. And then there is one other calculator that I want to show you. This has a little bit different format. It is with Jeremy at Personal Finance Club. So it's his investment growth retirement calculator. So on this one, you can actually enter in your age. Let's say you are 30 years old right now, and then your starting investment would be the amount you already have invested. And say that we have maybe $100,000 invested, and we're going to not contribute anything from age 30 to age 65. And our annual cost of living is going to stay at that $55,000. We would actually hit our FI number before age 60. So you can see our investments continue to rise. We aren't pulling out too much money that we are going to go bankrupt. So depending on your preference, you can definitely play around with both of these calculators or one of these calculators and figure out your monthly investment amount. And this is exactly what I did when I was looking to retire. I played around with that Net Worthify calculator. I didn't know about Jeremy's calculator. I don't know if it was up by the time I was playing around with these numbers. But it was nice to see how much money I would have if I invested a certain amount, or if I invested a little bit more, how much sooner I would be able to reach financial freedom. And if you do want help getting your money invested in the stock market and going over all of these numbers, figuring out your exact financial freedom number and how much you're going to need to invest, I can definitely help you do that. I have a free masterclass where I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market. I'll leave a link below in the description. You can click on that and check out the free masterclass. Comment below and tell me if you are going to know exactly how much you'll need to invest in order to retire. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more awesome content from me, make sure and check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.